Hello, hello. 1 second. My microphone decided to disintegrate. Testing, testing. Test, test, test. Okay. Yeah, so it's a cheap mic that is normally on this stand, but has these rubber bands that just came apart. So now it's sitting on my desk on a hat, but I think it works. So first of all, I removed the dollar amount on the terminal because I don't want people to get the impression that I do this for the money, but someone asked, I'll tell them, of course. But the game sold over 20 copies during the summer sale already, which is awesome. Thank you very much for everyone who bought the game. That's what keeps this alive. Let me... And yeah, the NPCs that I added in the update yesterday, they still need work. But I'm not quite sure yet how to go forward with them. So I'll need a couple of days to let that settle. But yeah, I have ideas going forward with the NPCs that I'll probably make some changes until Friday. But the most pressing matter is the next region. And I've been going back and forth, but I think the best approach is to release the region not in whole, but in sub-regions over the next 4 weeks. And that's because they will take up basically all my time. So if I release it in a huge package in 4 weeks, during that 4 weeks, there will be practically no updates. So that's super bad. On the other hand, there's no big flashy event if I release it in parts. But yeah, I think it's a much better idea to release it in small chunks, because I can then also incorporate feedback, and yeah, there's something new to experience in the game every week, which is awesome. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do, unless there's a mutiny, but I think it benefits everyone. Yeah. So there's a bug with the locations that I discovered late yesterday, and that I didn't have the time to fix. It's a minor bug, but can be annoying. So let me show you. the here's a visualization of the regions, and the problem, the bug, is at the boundaries, of course. Where else would it be? And if I disable, if I don't render the objects, you may see the problem already. It's these little tiles right here. They are underneath these steps that cross the elevations. And here's one as well. And they are also on the boundaries. So what happens is that you the path runs not over the top of this, but let's say down here. Then this staircase will collapse. So this will be moved downwards. But now this tile with the steps on it will have these steps removed. So it'll look just like everything else. Just a grass tile in this case. But it will still have the old region assigned. The other region, the one over here. So if you walk onto this tile, you'll get the Vanishing Gorge message. And if you walk off it, you'll get the River Ruins message. So that's annoying. Let me undo this. It was, yeah, looked like this. And I haven't thought this through, so I don't know how to fix it. I'll have to think about that now. So the region is assigned by patch. So regions are these large areas, patches are these very small areas. So this patch right here has a area marker on it that says Vanishing Gorge. And everything on that patch gets assigned that value. And how it works, the data is not in the tile itself, but in the patch. So what I do at runtime is I look at the tile. The tile knows which patch it is in. So this tile knows that it's in the blue region. And then I look at the patch, and the patch tells me, okay, there's a Vanishing Gorge marker, so this is in the Vanishing Gorge region. So what I can't do is simply not assign the area or region marker to this tile. It'll always have it. To further complicate this, I can't say don't show the region when you're on a staircase, because the staircase gets removed. So this is a bit tricky. This is a bit tricky. Yeah, and the data for the patch, that this tile belongs to the blue patch, is also not in the tile itself, but it's a huge flood map over the whole world, where at this location there's an index for the patch. And what complicates this further is that there are many checks in the game that see if a tile is in a patch or is outside of the boundaries. So you can see right here, this is all gray because it's not accessible. So it's not given a patch. So basically everything that doesn't have a patch doesn't belong to the game, to the playable area. So I can't just remove the patch either. I might have coded myself into a corner here. So when I collapse these boundaries, I have access to all the tiles, and you can see the boundaries don't have these red things, don't have a patch assigned. You can see that in the upper right corner. If I move over here, you can see patch 244. This doesn't have one. So when I collapse this boundary, if it needs to be, I could do something to the tile that has the steps on it. So the tiles have flags, and I could flag the tile to be steps and then not display a region change on it, but that's bad. Feels bad. Another question is are there other places where this happens? Don't think so. Let's check out this entrance that leads underground. So it has the patch, the above patch, and this has the below patch. So that's not a problem because they are completely cut off if they collapse. But this stays part of the game. This boundary. And let me think. I don't think there are other places where this could be critical. Or this could be a problem. I don't think so. I mean, I could just see what happens if... Oh, I can't do that. So the further problem is that the flood map I was talking about, that has the patch index for each tile. That's constant. I can't write into that. I mean, I can, but that screws up a whole lot of other things. So I cannot remove the patch. So all that's left is not showing the region label if you step on this tile. Yep, that's basically the only option. So it needs the flag. Oh man, this is bad. Or I could try not assigning a patch to tiles with steps on them. Let me try that and see what happens. So that's in tile. Find patches. Okay. Iterate over the tiles. So after the flooding, the flood map is already filled. Yeah, because I clear the flood map here if the patch is rejected. So it'll have to be here. Okay, there are other checks. If it's water, then return. And then I'll say if this is a step, these are steps, then return. Yeah. I'm still asleep, it seems. Okay, back to the where was it? Down here. Okay, it's not linking anymore. Yeah, that doesn't work. So up here, the it says it links, the boundary links 202 with -1, which means it's broken. That doesn't work. Let's look at the tiles. Okay, I have flags, but I'm actually not sure if I use them. I mean, I can name the flag no region. So that would be enough. And it would be pretty clear what it does. So let's see. If the flags are used anywhere. Okay. I'm in the home directory. They are used. Why are they not here? That's stupid. Should be there. Okay. Good. I have active. Yeah, of course. Is an edge. Is a boundary. No region. Or maybe crossing. That's it's more descriptive, but which is in line with the other flags, but yeah, that's well, that's also a bad name. Would take away. I mean, this is a crossbow. Add elevation edge. And then, what do you call? I can't name it step because that's taken. And actually, when do I set this flag? Where are the boundaries set? Blind. Flag tiles. Oh yeah, of course they're set by hand. Wow, this is a rabbit hole. I set them by hand. But I won't be doing that for the elevation changes. That would be insane. But where do I... this lowers the steps. So I have to do it. I have to do it where I declare them. Declare the tiles. The tiles to be an edge. So if there's a... Actually, let's... it needs to be an... wait, no. So this is the algorithm that finds the edge lines. Oh, kind portal. Like this. So this goes over something. Okay, a block. A block is a square region of the game used for rendering normally. Yeah, this is kind of rendering. And then it sees, it looks for, it calls this function which tests if this tile is an edge and assigns it. And it rejects steps because they cannot be an edge because they need to be accessible. So all edges are, you can't walk on them. But steps need to be walkable, so this bails out. And I can use this. So portal is a kind, it's a category of objects. Steps are in that. And I can detect the step here and assign it. Now the problem is that I need to clear that as well. There it is, cleared. This is... yeah, I mean, this function gets updated in the tessellation. So that's actually not the right place. Because this has nothing to do with tessellations. Also, that's not the right flag. Let's just undo this. Man, this is getting harder. There may be... oh, I could solve this. Yeah, let's... let's solve this in a different way. One that actually may add something to the game. So these are only single tiles. So if I use something like a threshold before I show the region label, then that will just skip the single tile. And the added benefit is that you don't have these abrupt region changes on steps. So it may be a bit more immersive to have them appear a bit later. So let's do that. That bypasses all of this. Make status. What did I do in game? Nothing. Well, that's already checked out. Let's keep the moved flags, but remove this. Okay, that's also clear. Okay. Where is the detection code? I think it's in game. And not score, area. Render area. Okay, and I set T area, the area timer. Just label so yeah, that's the function. And it's horribly named, so let's rename it. Okay. So we need a threshold. So this function looks, this function runs every time you move. And it looks at the patch of the tile where you're standing on. If that's the same one that you are already, if this doesn't change the region, it returns. If it has a region, then assign it. And why is there still, why is this split? I remember faintly that adding the area to this status of the game, but anyways, if there's a area, it sets the timer to 5 and the last area to the new one. But now I need a threshold. How do I do that? And why is there a last area and a status area? Okay, pointed hills. Let's hope I'm not in the middle of it. I just want to get to a new region. Okay, surely that was one. Okay, foothills. There it is. There's the boundary. Yeah, the threshold would also prevent this from happening. Hey, Nilu. Thanks. Okay, so it works with these data. And then, so if it's yeah, it'll be just this. Greater than 5 maybe. Then set the timer. And actually that's, oh god, this is complicated. So yeah, if this is the same area, if you're walking around in the same area, then increase the counter. And if the counter if it's not, if this is a different region, set it to 0. So if the area is 0 for some reason, not sure why that check is there, but probably important. If it's 0, then just return. If it's a different one from the one you're in, then reset the counter. If you keep walking in the area, increase the counter, but only that's stupid. If it is equal to 5, fire off the timer. So if it's not the same, reset. If it is the same, increment. If it's 5, show the timer. And this is called only when you move, so it won't keep this timer at 5. And then well, this is yeah, this should work. When do I set this? When do I save the area? Do I save it every time? I think so. Okay, let's find a place to test this. Or not. Actually, let's move it in here. Yeah, actually, this is a good spot. Okay, I've moved 5 steps. Now it's the foothills, and it disappears. That's good. Now I cross the boundary to the pointed hills. Yeah, that's much better than before, actually. Because now I can cross this. I think the boundary is there. Somewhere underneath these. Yeah, there's the boundary. So I can cross this all day and nothing happens. So that's pretty cool. Let's see if this works with the underground. Where's the exit here? Okay, I think 5 is okay. Okay, this jumps immediately. What? Crossing. Oh, because the text is on screen. Yeah, if I cross the boundary while the text is on screen, the text will of course change to the current region. But that's okay, I think. That shouldn't happen normally. Unless you're at a point where 3 regions meet. Let's test that real quick. Where do 3 regions meet? Well, it may be more complicated to test. Yeah, let's first test the real problem, which is the staircases. So it collapsed. The boundary the wrong tile should be directly here. And nothing happens. Yeah, there it was. Okay, let's call this solved for now. But yeah, maybe test the start. But that should work. Yeah, that's also much better that the name doesn't appear as soon as you move. That's pretty cool. Alright, I'll call it fixed until I find out that it doesn't work. Make area label use a threshold. Alright. Let me go to the bathroom real quick. Be right back. See for game dev, cool. You use any libraries? Any useful resources for beginners? The game doesn't really use libraries. It uses just helper libraries for compression stuff. Namely the ogg4bis STB library, but other than that, it's homebrew. Any useful resources for beginners? So, what's your level? Do you know C, or are you trying to learn C? You know some C, and then you want to start making a game? I guess. Useful resources for making a game. The most useful is probably the Handmade Hero series, but that's also super verbose and takes a lot of time. But wow, that's actually a difficult question, because there's quite a lot of stuff going into a game. But the hard part is, for me at least, where the shaders. I'd recommend playing around with Raylib. Yeah, playing around is a good idea. Quickest way to make a game in C. Yeah, so if you go down the make everything yourself route, you will spend a year or two with no game at all, just making the engine, which is I mean, it's a lot of fun, but it's not the quickest way to get a game going. So yeah, if you're, I'd probably start with 2D games. And what I really like is Lua 2D. That's super fast to prototype. You could get a game going in an afternoon with that. So Lua 2D, no, Love 2D. It's not Lua 2D, but I think it uses Lua. Yeah, that's pretty cool for prototyping if you just want to mess around. That's what I'd use. Other than that, it depends largely on what kind of a game you want to make. Yeah. There's just a huge range of things that you could need depending on the game. But yeah, game code is usually or for me, the game code is the easiest. Hardest is graphics, and audio. Well, audio is actually quite easy compared to graphics. But yeah, wrapping your head around shaders took me a lot of time. I see the engine graphics and 3D stuffs. I have to learn then game logic. Yeah, I mean, game logic depends on kind of game you have. If it has physics, that can be extremely complicated. If it has multiplayer over the internet, that can be insanely complicated. And if you combine the two, then that's practically insurmountable. Unless you use something like Unreal. But yeah, making that yourself, I tried a couple of years ago, I tried creating a, what was it? Yeah, a Quake style networking logic for a 3D FPS game, also all homebrew, and it just breaks your brain completely. So action games with networking is, I couldn't do it. I'm probably just too dumb for that, but yeah, I tried and I think I failed. Don't remember, but I know thinking about time and packets was insanely hard. Okay, so hey Ethan, how's it going? I see there's more niche areas to game dev. Yeah, sure. Small little games are probably the best way to start. Doing good, how are you? I'm doing fine. I'm sweltering in the heat. But other than that, I'm fine. The game is on sale on the Steam summer sale. If you haven't heard, and it sold quite a few copies in the last 2 days, so that's pretty awesome. Still hot over there. 25C here, but feels colder, TBH. Wait, you're already out of it. I'm envious. Yeah, we're still. I think tomorrow we'll be wearing a hoodie already. Okay, yeah, I'll be too if it drops to 25. I think tomorrow will be the hottest day. 38C 2 days ago. Oh, that's crazy. That's a huge drop, yeah. 38 is crazy. Yeah, I'm going through my book for no reason. I know what to do, and that is tinkering around in the next region. Okay. So yeah, the rest of the stream I'll go over this sub-region and just move stuff around, because I flooded all these areas here with random objects, so I'll have to go through and arrange them so that they are more playful. And actually, well, that doesn't help really. Yeah, so as I said at the very start of the stream, I'll release the next region in installments each week. So I'll have to actually cut them off from the rest somehow. Yeah, I'll think of something. But yeah, this is what I'll do for the next 3 days, probably. Well, not that long. Today, at least. Still bringing in the millions? Yes, they just keep raining. It just keeps pouring money. Not just joking. I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it for people playing the game and me making the game. That's it. And yeah, I have a checklist for the region. Still on 1.4K, or has it gone up? Yeah, I made $200 the last 2 days. Wait, is that true? Something like that. So it's at 1.8. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So I'm still in the green. I'm actually living off the game. It's crazy. I realized that yesterday, that this actually works. What am I looking for? The checklist. Yeah. So what I have to do in the next 4 days is I need to add at least one new monster. Need to add sounds for the step, for the hero walking. I need a new ambient sound. I need probably 4 or 5 dungeons. And I need the overworld locations like huts and ruins, monster rooms, and a couple of wanderers. So that's a tall order, but I'll get there. Maybe I should consider the size of these things. So in the minimap, I hope you can see. Let me look. Well, you can't really. That's bad. Let me remove the camera. So this is the minimap. And so the new region in whole is this thing. So this is the lower right corner of the world map. The lower right quarter, actually. Everything that's this brownish color and the green below is the new region. And the old region in its entirety is over here. That's the upper right corner of the world. So everything green is the current region up until here maybe. And wrong joystick. And this right here is the new region. So I want to split it into 4 parts. And maybe I should actually begin with the smallest, because that needs extra work with the sound and everything. So currently you can see this is a bit darker brown. And then I have this lighter beige color in the center, green on the bottom, and there's I think this is all water. So it's in 3 big chunks, but I can wait, actually no, there's more, because this area is coast, not coast but cliffs. This is more muddy. So I'm not quite sure which one I'll start with. Let me look at this. Okay, it's pretty hard with this narrow view. There's a lake, and then it looks pretty samey right now. That's because it's not done, basically. But yeah, this is more porous coast stuff, a bit greener. And then this is the stretch in the middle. I had a couple of ideas here as to how to split this up, but it's kind of, yeah, it's kind of color-coded. Yeah, here the hills are stone, and here they are dirt or fallen leaves. I wish I could just print the region and look at it and circle things with a pen. Might actually have to create something like that. I should have an Easter egg in the game, like a boat of the coast called Stojan or a dungeon or similar. Some deep lore for the OGs, yeah. That would be cool. That would actually be cool. Oh, there's a incredibly powerful item called the scepter of Stojan, or the egg of Stojan or something. That would be pretty cool. Okay, how do I cut this up? Currently I'm working on this upper right region, but it may be too large for 1 week. Well, actually, so it's everything, well, you can't see probably because of the bitrate, but it's everything that has a brown ground. That's, yeah, I think that's too big. Well, probably. Weapon is a good idea, yeah. Easier to implement probably too. I mean, I would just have to tell the player what the name is. That's easiest with a weapon, yeah. But I could also, I mean, could also name a region after it. The hollowed halls of Stojan. It's pretty funny. Can I do this in a week? Probably not. Well, 6 days actually. 5.5. And if not, how do I cut it up? Well, I mean, I can just cut it up anywhere. I'll just have to do some of these. And then, yeah, that's it. But I also have to remove the markers. Greystone that says it rips Stojan. Yeah, that's awesome. I actually wanted to rip Stojan. 2026 for 23. It's apparently the day it was changed. Really? All right. That's what your changelog says anyhow. Oh, okay. Then that's probably what happened. Yeah, I had the idea to add a couple of cemeteries. But yeah. Okay, why not cut it up in squares? So that would be down this line here. Well, I have to somehow remember where I cut it so that I can undo the cuts. Cut here, cut here, cut here, cut here, cut here. And cut here. And then cut here. And just remove all of these. Do I ever find these again? Well, I'll just have to do them again. That's okay. So first of all, this needs a new region name. Ah, that's so stupid. I have a two-tiered system right now. One marker for the large regions, coast and the forest. And there will be a couple of more, only a couple of more in the future. Then I have this region, this area system with different markers that are these A's here that show the names. I play the game and it shows the area name down there. That's this marker. But if I release the world map piecemeal, the 4 large markers are useless. Yeah, that's the only way. I have to fix them all. Okay, but that's not that bad. I can remove all of these procedurally. The highland markers should be named forest, but still highlands. And keep those. Keep the area markers. And then promote those to be the new markers for the game. And then I can say include all of these regions in the playable game, but exclude all the others. Okay, let's do that. region. Oh God. Okay. I'll have to do this in steps. Yeah, these patch marker, these two are obsolete. So there are no region markers anymore. But I this it's not that easy. Okay, only three uses for the regions, and that is one-off tile altering operations. Okay, that's commented out, and then yeah, it assigns the region to the patch. So, and it removes itself. Have I committed anything? Everything? Yeah. Okay, let's begin. This is now the area. This is gone. And this is gone as well. So now I only have the area. The markers are still in the world. I need to remove them. Proc. And then, so this runs if I enable it. And then I'll just say, yeah, that's stupid. Region covers them both. I'll set it to 0. So now I just need to make the game run again because this won't compile. Yeah. Region. Yeah, this function isn't used anywhere. Area. Member named area struct patch. Okay, a bit of OCD sprinkled in. Remember named region struct patch. Okay. Yeah, that's the crux. So this allows the game to only start in the forest region. So I'll just do this. If the area is 0, then man, this works, then it is much better. Man, that's so much simpler. Okay. Edit. What does this do? Okay, that's rendering. In the editor, that was the info displayer on the top right in the editor. Normal named, yeah, okay. These are the tests. Test if pmarker is too close to a boundary. That's completely wrong. Stupid. If all patches have an area assigned. So that's a problem, because that is actually a problem. So on the one hand, I would like to leave the area out for regions that should not land in the game when you play. I would like to not assign an area and then have that patch just not appear in the game. But I also want to find all the patches where I accidentally forgot to add an area. So that's not working. But how can I? Well, I'll have to assign all the patches that are out of the world. Wait, what do I have to assign them? Yeah, I'll have to assign them a temporary one. A temporary area. Does that make sense? I don't know, I don't remember named region. So yeah, if area is 0. Okay, that builds. Let's see if it runs. Okay, that works. And yeah, all the other markers are gone. Now it's only the patch marker and the area marker. And I can actually combine those as well. Because there's only ever one of those and only ever one of those. Man, that would be amazing. But then, yeah. And then I assign the, well, they would need to have a special marker, and that's it. That's it. So let's see. So the function that I wrote edited the world. It removed all the region markers. So I'll have to be careful with this. And actually let me make a copy of the game world. And now it's safe. Yeah, always a bit scary. So let's remove the patch markers. Turn them into the area markers. That would be insane if that works. For that to work, let's look at the patch struct. Okay, P. So yeah, it has the position. I can get that from the area marker. That's no longer a P marker. And then remove markers. Doesn't it? This should work. Oh, there's area. Okay, so region mark, did I save? I think I saved. I did now. So let's turn off the proc function. I did search for marker. Okay, let's go from top to bottom. Well, first let's write the proc function. So what I want to do is that's actually not that easy. Well, should be. Yeah. What I want to do is I want to go over each patch, take the area marker and place it on the patch marker. But I iterate over all the tiles. Well, it can work. Okay. Struct patch, and then I get the tile. I need a second tile pointer. First of all, patch add. So I get the patch. And that is just X, Y, L. That's 0, then just continue. Now I have the patch. Now I can look for the position. Patch. The tile at the patch marker position. So if that is 0, okay, then something terribly went wrong. And just skip that. But if the tile at the patch marker is a area, continue. So that's the check, if I already did that. Otherwise, I don't have to comment this. This is a temporary function. So if the, let's say not a patch, let's write one comment. And then say if the current tile, not the tile at the center of the patch, but the current tile is an area marker, then set the center of the patch to the area marker and this tile to 0. So the new regions now all only have the patch marker, nothing else. So that shouldn't affect them at all. Hey Weakness, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Okay, let's see what happened. Wait, is it uncommented? Well, I'll see. Okay, that changes nothing, of course. And this doesn't either. Oh, sorry. Because it's commented out. Wait, come on. And now everything is gone. Wait, So it's a missing number. Like in Pokemon. What happened? Oh, I gave it. Yeah, that's super stupid. I want to swap them, not set it to random enum. And there it is. There it is. Amazing. Okay, saved. I can turn this off. And let's do it here. Struct. I can now completely remove the regions. And the patch marker. And see what happens. Okay. Tile. It says it doesn't know what the patch is. That's not here, it's commented out. Okay. If that's the area P. Oh. Yeah, so the responsibility for the center of the patch and the area now lie both on the area marker. That may come back and bite me in the ass, but not until far in the future. Yeah, there's no region markers. If this tile is a patch, I don't. This is actually pretty stupid. I'll have to fix that someday. So this iterates over all the tiles in the world, but it should just iterate over the patches in the path. Yeah, that's stupid. But this whole function is kind of wonky. Okay, there are no markers, but remove the area. Error. Okay. There's no patch marker, there's no highlands, no coast. But these all need to be yellow. Debug stuff. Oops. Yeah. Test for patches with double P markers. What does it do? Oh yeah, it checks if So this becomes area markers. And this also goes over all the tiles in the world, all layers, and looks at each patch, looks at the patch of each tile, and sees if the well, first of all, it only looks at area markers, and then it sees if the current marker is different from the center of the patch, which would mean that there are two of them, and then it raises a warning. Okay. And that built. And swept, vanishing. Okay, so my visualization of the patches still works. The new region is all gray now. And I messed up. Messed up the markers. But that's okay. I can salvage this. And actually that's pretty, it's not bad. I wanted to change these programmatically anyway. Tile, well now I haven't remembered the index. I have to look that up in a second again. Okay, so this time, if the object is, what was it, 5104 or something? If it's not that, continue. And then what do I turn it into? I turn it into Can I use area 0? I think I can. No, I can't. Can I? That could cause problems. Well, let's just try it. Okay, this should be 5,600. No, what's extra? Let's try 5,000. So 5,600. Okay, they are still there. That's good. And they are still broken. It was 5504. That's not the ending. I really have to remove that region. I have to say that every time I miss teleport. Okay, star, 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 area, area, area. And then to bring this into the game, I take these stars and assign them something proper. Yeah, only in this one region. Okay. So that should probably work. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's that took away a whole lot of unnecessary bookkeeping work. I really like how scary the bridges are to walk on. Yeah, guys, I'll go offline and we'll continue pushing around objects in the new region. I'll probably stream again tomorrow around the same time. And yeah, the game is 20% off if you want to try it out. There's a demo on Steam. And thank you guys for stopping by. Means a lot. And thank you for all the support as well, of course. So yeah, that's it from me for today, but I'll be back on tomorrow. Alright guys, have a nice day. I'll see you then. Bye bye.